Good evening. Greetings from the Institute of Global Professional IGP. Greetings from the Institute of Global Professional IGP. Thank you all for joining us and staying with us today. And Honorable Nalisike, today I am your host for the evening. My name is Balandash. I am from Bangladesh. They are proud to be associated with IGP. IGP is a social and asset international education and training institute. In last years, we already served 35 million plus knowledge seekers from 100 plus countries. IGP is internationally recognized and globally accredited. We are connected to more than 450 plus profession and 4,500 plus organization. Institute of Global Professional is an educational institute that provides social work globally recognized and reputable. We serve student and community resource providing holistic social work and education. We believe that it is not effective to increase one skill just by acquiring formal education. So we provide effective training and consultation to generate professional generation all over the world. We distribute our services locally in Russia, international to student job seeker job holder and also for learner to respective campus location and distance learning platform. We are an occupational and dependable institute. IGP is one of the famous online institutes from all over the world. Our vision is education is not a business product, it's a part of our human rights. Based on our vision, we are trying to reach all corners of the world for free webinars, seminar courses, award, quiz competition, mentoring, and counseling, etc. On the other side, we are also trying to offer more than 100 freelance services for free, like Trade Portfolio website, Resume Builder, cover letter, motivation letter, and bulk knowledge platform for gathering general knowledge which can update all day. Kids learning game, website, free course, convert sites, and many more. We help to empower you to learn to meet their expectation and dream and become highly skilled people. We implement our training program webinar and offline online courses for you all the learner by professional trainer, speaker, and coaches. Our session are conducted by global engineer professional to develop all kind of views and promote the education of their abilities and personalities. Speaking knowledge is crucial for his global professional. We believe that knowledge is love and light and vision. So we try to understand the needs of today's generation and will serve them with good research and practice method. We must have a genuine concern for the learner we represent. More diversity, growth, and innovation are required to lead a session with professionalism, passion, and integrity. IGP members are committed to offering effective best quality service and continual improvement so that individuals who seek information can improve their skill level and value. Before we move to the next, let me remind don't forget to share, tag, and mention your friend in the comment box. Your support is very valuable for us. Thank you. Before we move to the next, let me remind don't forget to share, tag, and mention your friend in the comment box. Your support is very valuable for us. Thank you. Moving to the next, with your continuous support, you already completed 1,817 webinars successfully. Moving to the next, with your continuous support, you already completed 1,817 webinars successfully. Dear IGP speaker, participant, and well-wisher, at this moment, this is a very important message for you all. We change and design our website www.eduigp.com. On this website, we have surprise for everyone. Hope you will be benefited. We already launched our new website where you can find all our previous activities together with lots of new features. But one strong point is that without an account or logged in, you cannot enjoy our service. So create your account programs with profile information. Note that with profile information, you will enjoy all features. With mismatched data, you cannot do anything here. From now on, you have to participate in live quiz competition on our website. We replace live. You have to join website. Now you can check all of our previous webinars with verified e-certificate. Now it's easier and time oriented because after the session we will not provide any code for certification. You have to take part in one exam. After that, if you pass, you will receive your certificate. Otherwise not. But you can take part in an exam only immediately you pass. If you are an IGP speaker, you can download all your previous certificate, speakership certificate. If you are a host of IGP, you can download a certificate of gratitude. If you are an online life quiz competition winner, you can download a certificate of participation. If you are selected for a lifetime membership, then you can download a certificate of lifetime membership easily. Besides this, if you participate in an award function which organizes common support with IGP, you can download that also. You can easily prepare and download 18 types of research certificate from our website within a minute. Certificate of global professional membership, certificate of global influence in the pandemic, certificate of active knowledge seeker, certificate of social activities in the pandemic, certificate of achievement IGP knowledge seeking in 2020, 2021, and 2022, certificate of participation website series 1, authentic assessment in teaching learning, certificate of participation website series 2, teaching English as a foreign language and assessment. Certificate of participation webinar series 3 digital classroom engagement tools. Certificate of participation webinar series 4 the new trend in education. Certificate of participation webinar series 5 upskilling also leadership and managerial skills. Certificate of participation webinar series 6 trend and innovation in mathematics education. Certificate of participation webinar series 7 research comprehension approach. Certificate of participation webinar series 8 art in teaching a special program in the art. Certificate of participation webinar series 9 21st century tool in teaching mathematics. Certificate of Ajib corporate ambassador. Certificate of Ajib campus ambassador, which you can prepare and download within a minute. From now on, you have to participate in live quiz competition on our website. You can participate in 1,000 plus international level quiz with verified e-certificate. Teaching tips for teacher, health tips for parents, health tips for teens, gamification tools for teacher. You can join IGP alumni. You can check out our plus student services website for free and many more. Dear IGP will be shared. We promised previously, but lack of technical problem and late sending you on time. This is a great opportunity to collect your previous condition. To solve all issue from our website. Now we can enroll, reset password, everything. You can check your report for all of your details. It's a totally tested check all button and pages on our website. You like and self benefited. Thank you, but note that without an account or logged in, you cannot enjoy our services. At present, we have registered 1,818 webinar, whose name is Workplace Incivility, and today our speaker name is Dr. Sadia Anwar. She is from Pakistan. Before I hand over the stage to our speaker, ma'am, also share a very little bit about her assistant professor, University of Sindha. Now, very important moment for me to invite our speaker to IGP with her presentation. Now, very important moment for me to invite our speaker to IGP with her presentation. Hello, ma'am. Good afternoon.
Hello, dear. How are you?
I'm fine, ma'am. How are you, ma'am?
I'm fine too.
Ma'am, the stage is yours. You can start your presentation now.
Thank you so very much. Can I start my presentation? Well, I'm really very much happy once again to be with you all, especially with IGP, and giving me an honor to be over here and speak with you all. And today's topic is again very competitive, and it is very much like this that we should have means we should understand this term. This terminology should not be means highlighted to just one category, that is employees, but again this is very much important for everyone, whosoever is listening over here. So good evening, good morning, wherever you are listening to me. Hope you are going to enjoy this knowledge, and you are going to enjoy all these factors. And wherever you are, either you are as university students, even you are in any organization, you are a teacher, or you are an employee, or you are an employer, everyone can involve in these situations, and how to handle this situation, what is workplace instability is, and how we can manage it. We are going to discuss all these factors one by one. So without wasting our time, let's start the presentation. Incivility. Before starting that, what does workplace incivility means? It is very much important to identify this factor, that what is incivility, what is the term incivility particularly means. Incivility is a general term for social behavior lacking in civility or good manners, on a scale for rudeness or lack of respect for elders. To vandalism, that means particularly doing deliberately some acts that are deliberately that has been done deliberately, and hooliganism, that deals with the rude behavior. Sometimes the people behave so rudely without thinking that it can hurt so much to the other personalities through public drunkenness and threatening behaviors. The word incivility is derived from the Latin word that is incivilis, meaning not of a citizen. Now, when we are talking about a citizenship, or when we are talking about a civilization, means it is important that we must have this fact, that how we can manage this, means how we can have this community without civilization, without manners, without ethics, how we can move on. A community, or any place, or any organization, or any country, anywhere, without ethics, without norms, without such type of civilization, you cannot move. And this has been happening now with the passage of time. People are not thinking on these facts, that what uh, these phenomena are, or these situations are, or how they are, mean they are putting the impact on the persons who are working with them, how they are involving in their lives. Everything has been used, mean at this moment, in the era in which we are living, everything is just going on without thinking that why we are doing. If somebody is acting, mean doing any of the act, they don't think even that why they are acting or why they have acted this. Sometimes the people behave so rudely, and when they have been asked why you are so rude, this is that it's okay. What does matter? It's okay. It's not about to be a rude. If you are an employee, if you are a boss, it is not important that you should be rude. You should be strict. You should be plan oriented. You should be oriented with your aims, with your objectives, with the achievement of the objectives. But again, it is not important that you should be rude enough with your employees so that they can work. Sometimes people used to think that if we are going to be rude with our employees, they will work properly. Though it is not like this. It is like this, that if you will be polite, if you will be, you should be strict in this manner, that you should have you are having some targets, you have to complete those targets, you have to accomplish some goals. So it is very much important that you should move ahead with this factor. But again, it is not important that one should be rude. So today's topic is just about all these facts. Incivility, shouting on other person, behaving rude. Sometimes we talk to someone without thinking that how much hurting we are them, or sometimes we use without thinking this phenomena, that how much this can, what impact this will put on the other's personality. Will be again confident even even if even to talk in front of us. So in this regard, it is very much important to highlight what do we mean by incivility, what acts come under this terminology of incivility. Workplace incivility, defined as a form of organizational deviance characterized by low intensity behaviors that violate respectful workplace norms, appearing vague as to intent to harm. Sometimes people they get into a jealousy factor. Sometimes they do it just for some people it's just a joke, but some people it hurts so much to the other person who is bearing all those acts, all those things, all those words. So one should be very much clear in this regard that incivility at a workplace or incivility in their normal life, there should be one should know why a person is acting or why a person is doing. Means we should, if we are looking forward for someone who is rude, who is not behaving in an appropriate manner, we should inform them that this is not an appropriate manner, you should not behave in this way. So workplace incivility, any that type of a deviant act or behavior, which is low intensity behavior, or which does not look appropriate, or which is not according to the norms and ethics of the organization, or the civilization. Particularly important thing is that the civilization. It is not about an organization. It's about a society. It's about a people. It's about a community in which we are living. So it is very much important that we should have such type of environment in which we all can work. We all can move ahead in a beautiful manner. Moving ahead, incivility is distant from violence. Now, this is not a violence. People sometimes don't notice even. Even the bosses never notice that what their employees mean. We know that we are having three types of strategy in HRM, human resource management. Those people who are related with the HRM, they must be knowing about this factor that we are having top level managers, we are having middle level managers, and we are having the lower level managers. Sometimes top level managers don't know what has been going on in the middle level, and sometimes middle level are not knowing about the lower level. So it is very much important for everyone to identify this factor, that what has been happening in the lower level or the level in which we are working. Examples include in the workplace incivility is insulting comments, which are majorly not being noticed. Mostly the people don't notice about these facts. Not giving credit where due means if we are working in a team, people sometimes don't even bother to tell that how many people were there or who has worked. The main employee, the person who is representing, he used to say that it's all the credit all goes to me. So this also comes in the workplace incivility is spreading false rumors that it's a very common phenomenon, especially most probably in every working organization, and mostly the females used to. I mean, it has been the females has been targeted, but over here I won't say that only females, but male also being targeted in relationship to having the spreading all these false rumors. Social isolation. Sometimes we get so much jealous, or if someone new is coming and he is very talented or competent, what we used to do, we used to make him, we used to isolate that person, that no, he cannot be a part of our, means in when we were child, I used to remember we were in schools and we used to say, some new candidate used to come, we are not going to do the friendship with this new person, because we are having our own team, we are having our own friends, and this new person will might be this new person, we cannot be adjusted in our team. We used to say like this, and when we grown up, we are looking forward the same thing that has been happening in the organization, that the acceptance of a new person, that someone can be accepted, is very low. The acceptance power of in accepting anyone, anything, is very low. So mostly we used to do the isolation without thinking this word. So, finally, bad manners. People used to think it's cool. People used to think that it's an honor, or we it's a fashion. But what I would like to prefer over here, that fashion or having a bad manners, people are losing their, people are not thinking about this fact, that what's the difference to be an ethical and what's the difference in between to be an unethical personality. What are the facts? What shows that from where you belong, and how to give respect to someone. These all things comes into the manners. Manners doesn't mean that you should be rude with someone, or you should be like this. You should feel that I am superior. Sometimes the people used to think that they are very superior. They don't know if they don't talk to anyone, any of their employee or any of their colleague in a very positive way. These all things also creates workplace incivility. Now, there are some pictures that showing that people, you found the people over here in your organization doing all these acts without informing. Sometimes people even don't bother to inform to the higher authorities what has been happening in the organization, because for them this is considered sometimes as a joke. Workplace incivility, there are different forms of incivility. Showed indifference towards co-workers, especially those who are seeking for help, as we don't want other person to take our seat, or to compete with us. So what we used to do, we don't help them. The worst thing which I usually used to see in the organization, whenever I used to go for the giving trainings, and I found that, oh my god, especially the juniors, when they used to come to the seniors for seeking some help, they they don't help. They don't, I don't know why, but the people uh, used to think that if they are going to help, he will be much better than us. Now we should clear this fact, we should clear this point, that if we are going to help anyone, it is not important that he or she is going to have our position, or they are going to be promoted in our position. If we are having a good skills, it will also mean when we are going to help someone, our skills will be promoted in a very positive way, and obviously the other person will also say very positive things to us, that yes, when we were we were in need, this person or this lady or this boss has helped us. So why we don't used to think this, and why do we don't promote such type of things, that yes, we should help each other. Then boss from hell. Destroy lower level staff's confidence and morale at work. Sometimes the bosses used to shout so much on their employees, or they used to be so harsh with them, that, as I've said before, that they just destroy the confidence level of their employees, which is again come in the form of incivility, which also comes in. Bosses used to say that we should be rude, we should be strict. Strictness doesn't mean to be unethical. Strictness doesn't mean to have bad manners. This what we should realize the factors, that yes, one should be very much knowing that whatever he or she is behaving, that will be managed, or that will be looked forward by the other persons, and it should be, means, communicated to the other personalities also. Now, uncivil communication, the incivility particularly comes with all these barriers which comes from the communication. uh, Uncivil communication, civil behaviors requires that people communicate with respect, restraint, responsibility, and uncivil communication occurs when people fail to do so. Obviously, when we don't care, that if we are insulting someone, we are disrespecting someone, we are not feel responsible for our acts. We will say that okay, it's our duty, it's a responsibility to insult someone, to speak harsh with someone. This will obviously create an uncivil communication. So one should be very much, it should be he or she should be very much conscious about this factor, that whenever they are speaking up or whenever they are communicating with any of the person, they should be very much polite. They should do these things in a very respectful manner. Communication competence is very important, very important. We never notice about this fact. We never think about this thing, that what is communication competence means. It involves the ability to communicate in such a way that the truth claim of an utterance is shared by both the speaker and the hearer. The hearer is led to understand and accept the speaker's intention. However, the speaker adopts to the hearer's worldview. If people disagree about the truth and about the truth or appropriateness of their interaction, obviously the conflict will occur. Now, what happened that we used to think we are having a very worst. I have seen this thing among us. We are human, and there can be the so many things. So I've seen so many times the people don't used to listen. They always wanted to listen that which they want to accept. We usually what to do we use usually used to do we listen those things which makes us happy, or which are acceptable by us. But we never listen those things which are not acceptable by us, or which we don't like to listen. So the most important thing is that the communication competence is that if somebody is feeling that you are wrong, you are not doing it in a very good manner, then they should be communicate in a proper way. There should be a proper communication. Means if some truth has happened, if something has happened, that should be it should be speak up in such a way, and it should be heard in an appropriate way manner. The speaker should accept whatever the hearers or the listeners they are giving the opinion, they are giving the options, whatever they are their perceptions are there. The speaker should listen those things, even if the criticisms are there. But the listeners should also do these things, that they should be be reliable. They should have those points which are need to be notified by the speakers. So this communication, if this communication gap, I mean there is a communication gap that the speaker is not accepting the truth that the listeners wants to tell, or the listeners don't want to listen to the particular speaker. If such barriers will occur, obviously the conflicts will occur. So in that regard, it is very much important once again that we should manage a communication competence. We should know that whatever we are speaking up or whatever we are telling, for example, we are guiding how to write a memorandum, or how to write a notice, or how to write a memo to our employees, that in near future you will be the personalities who are going to write these memos or notifications or anything. Now, if we are doing any grammatical mistake, or if we are writing such words which are not that much attractive, and the listeners they are notifying this thing, and they are identifying that, excuse me, ma'am or sir, if we will write this thing in such a manner, it will look more attractive, because the notifications and or the memos or the notices they presents the whole organization. So if the senior one, if they are humble, if they are if the personality is like accepting their errors, because we are human, we can make the errors. If they will do so, obviously their relationship will get more stronger, and both personalities, the speaker as well as the listener, they can enjoy this thing. They can learn so many things together, and they can move ahead with a great success. So this is the most important thing one should have in our organization. We should move ahead with all these factors. Then communication competencies comes with this factor, that there should be an environment where you accept. The acceptance is the most important thing, which at this moment it is very normal that we are not accepted. I mean, we have lose the acceptance power among us. It's not about you, it's not about me, it's about us, it's about a society, it's about a community in which we are living. Uncivil communication, according to Habermas, we should establish communicative norms that lead to rational conversations by creating the social coordination needed for interactants to pursue their goals while recognizing the truth or appropriateness of their interactions. As I've said, that communicative norms, the conversation should be rational. It's not about pointing out someone or identifying someone or hurting someone. It should be rational one. If the mistake has been done by the team, the whole team should be asked that you have done this mistake and you should perform this duty or you should perform this work once again. This can be done by us and this should be done by us. Secondly, according to the Habers, it is very much important that everybody should know whatever the goal, whatever the targets we have to achieve, whatever the things we have to complete in the time duration. It should be appropriate, communicated to the personalities, to the team workers, so that they must be knowing in what stress the major boss is going on. So, in this regard, the truth and the appropriateness of the interactions should be maintained so it can move ahead with beautiful flow. Now, coming with this one, uncivil communication such as norms or social rules. It includes all participants must be allowed to speak freely. Everybody has a right to a freedom. We usually used to say that we should have a freedom to speak up. We should have a freedom to move on. We should have a freedom to share our views. But we don't get this opportunity. So one should have these norms, these social rules that the participants must be allowed to speak freely. All participants must be allowed to speak for themselves to enable them to establish their own ethos or self. It will give them an opportunity to be a self-confident. But while speaking up, the participants should realize this thing that they should not be unethical. They should not be uncivil. Means if they are getting this freedom to speak up, the freedom of speech, they should be having this phenomena. They should have this sense that we should speak in such a way that it should not hurt anyone, or we should speak in such a way that should be in the favor of everyone. So this should be the part of the participants. It is not that if they will get the freedom to speak up, they can speak up anything. They should have ethics. They should have norms, what to speaking up and how to speak up. And that communication should be equal, with no one participant commanding more attention from the other than is afforded to them on their term. As I've said you that the participants should realize this thing that whatever they are speaking, that should not hurt to the person for whom they are speaking up. Every time we should realize this fact that whenever we are speaking or whenever we are communicating with someone, it is very much important that we should know the norms, ethics, and the words which we are using. That should be very much polite. That should be in such a way that it should not be means hurting anyone. Now, coming with this one, such type of gestures that everybody can speak up in a very good environment will obviously encourage the employers, and it will be profitable for the organization as well. Whatever the organization it can be schools, it can be banks, it can be any organization. Moving ahead, some examples of uncivil communication include rude gestures. Sometimes people used to say that, "Ma'am, I haven't been said even a single word." But their gestures are, oh my god, so much hurting that one should be realizing this factor that how much rude gesture one person is giving. Sometimes the vulgar languages are used, interrupting and loudly having private discussion in public spaces. People without thinking that someone is working, someone is not feeling well, or someone is under the depression, or someone is under the stress to complete their work, or they can be hundred of things. One human, we should always remember one thing. One human means even if I talk about myself, I'm having dual life. One is the professional and one is the unprofessional. Sometimes things happen that is particularly unprofessional. In my personal life, something has been happening that may impact on the professional life. So in that regard, it is very much important that the employees who are working with us, we should have respect for that one, that we should not be so much loudly, or we should not discuss the private things in the private discussions in the public spaces, specifically in the organization. Mostly, I have seen this thing that the people used to say that, oh, we were just joking. Again, it's not about a joke, it's about a fact that one should know the norms and ethics of the organization. Coming with this factor, recent poll data suggests that uncivil communication is a serious problem and believe it has led an increase in physical violence. Sometimes, obviously, some people are having a short-tempered personalities, in which I used to say that they are the neuroticism personalities. They behave very differently, and if someone sometimes extroversion personalities or the other personalities, any type of a personality, they accept everything, but sometimes they also become angry that why we should suffer always. So in this regard, it may give a violence act in the organization, which should be, I know, I mean, it should be avoidable, and one should have these norms that how to manage these facts, how we can avoid such uncivil communication that can create any type of vulgarness or any type of unethical act, interrupting someone, disturbing someone. This should be avoided. Now, workplace incivility. Workplace incivility has been defined as low intensity, as has been discussed, with deviant behaviors, with ambitious intent to harm the target. As I said, that it is very much important to identify this factor that whenever we speak up, it is very much important that when we are speaking, we should have this intention. Sometimes the people do it intentionally, and sometimes people do it unintentionally. So it is very much important that the person are acting. I mean, if they are in any organization and they are using any deviant behavior, or we should say that any unethical behavior, it should be identified in an appropriate manner. Uncivil behaviors are characteristically or should be identified as rude or discourteous behaviors, displaying a lack of regard to others. Sometimes people used to say that if we are paying our employees, they become our servants. They are two different concepts of a servant as well as employee. But human is a human. Every human has a respect. And one thing we should not forget is that we should respect other personalities, so that in future we it's a reciprocal. If you are not going to respect anyone, in future the people are not going to respect you. So it is very much important that you should have this respect. You should respect the other personalities. You should not have a deviant behavior. You should not cheat anyone. It's not about a rude behavior. It's not only about discourteous or insulting someone. It's again, you should not broke the trust of other personalities. You should not broke the norms or ethics of that particular organization, or you not should not do any fraudulent acts. All these things comes in the workplace instability. So one should be very much careful while doing all these acts. Sometimes people used to give such gestures, even the people don't like someone, so they give such type of gestures, which also create the workplace incivility. Again, I will say that we are the humans. It's not about the words, it's about gestures. Communication are of two types. One, we used to say that they are verbal communication, in which we used to use the words, and sometimes non-verbal communication, in which we used to use our gestures. Sometimes we just look someone and they stop saying. We usually used to don't used to say these words that stop, don't speak. But we look at them and we just look at them and they get into these words that okay, we have to stop now. We should not speak up. So these are the gestures that we usually used to give, and this acts it comes in the act of incivility. Examples at the more subtle end of the spectrum include like covert examples in relationship to the work instability. Asking for input and then ignoring it means you have asked someone to tell you something, to give some input about any of the information, and sharing some of the knowledge that they are having in relationship to any of the target or any of the work, and then you ignore them. It's also come in incivility. Forgetting to share credit for a collaborative work. As I've said, that people don't bother even sometimes. The bosses or the main person who is presenting, they don't bother enough even to identify that, not even taking the name, but just saying that these are the people who helped us. This gives so much courage to the personalities who have worked with them. They love to work with them. And if the person will say that it's all, the credit all goes to me, and if I'm the only person who has worked and I'm the only person, it will discourage the whole team. Again, giving someone a dirty look. As I have shown before, that sometimes the gestures are so much giving. Oh my god, that even I used to think that why people used to give such gestures. One should know that this is a workplace. If you are not liking someone, it is not important to identify. It is not important. Just ignore. If you are not comfortable, inform your bosses that I am not comfortable with a concerned personality. It is not important always to handle the things by yourself. There is always a law. There is always a norms. There is always a standards given by every organization. We usually used to know that we are having article of associations and memorandum of association. Particularly article of association have been given for the rules and regulations of any organization. So uh, all these things have been written over there in those rules regulations, in those article of associations, and we should move ahead and inform our particular head, I mean immediate heads, so that they can handle these things. Interrupting others, not listening, means sometimes in the meetings, even I have seen this thing that if somebody wants to show their ignorance factor or their dislikeness, what they usually used to do in the meeting, as one person stood up, the other persons are going to speak, and they are not going to listen to that person. They will use the mobile phone. They will speak in between them. I mean, they will interrupt. They will not listen to the presentation or the meeting or the points that other person wants to share. So there can be so many things that comes into these incivility processes or in the act of these incivilities. Now, coming with this one, second example, which can be side conversations during a formal business meetings or the presentations, speaking with a condescending tone, means speaking in such a tone that other person would feel insulted. This should not be done. This should not be done in the organization. Waiting impatiently over someone's legs to gain their attention. Unfortunately, this has been seen so many times. Even being professors, sometimes students used to do with this with us. That they used to come on our desk while, or they used to stand on the doors while interrupting. We used to be in some meetings or while preparing some of the lectures, or sometimes in some research work. We used to be very much busy, and they stand on our. I mean, it feels that they are standing on our heads. They become like this. We want the time now. Okay, we will listen you, but they behave so impatiently that it should not be done. In the workplace, in the colleges, in the schools, wherever you are a teacher or you're a student, you're an employer or you're an employee, you are in a bank or you're in any organization, or wherever you are, have patience. Other person, if someone is not listening to, is not listening you, that means might be he could be busy. It is not important that the one person is always ignoring you. Identify, mean, while just looking at that person, you can easily identify that he or she is busy, or he or she is ignoring. If someone is ignoring you, obviously he's not going to listen you, even if you act like this. So it is important that one should be, one should act behavior, I mean their behavior should be very much ethical. I should behave ethically. I mean, one should be very much in this regard, that one should be very much ethical in this regard, that I should perform my duty in a good manner. Whatever the other person thinks doesn't matter. I should not lose my temperament. I should not lose my ethics. Whatever the other personalities are doing, it should not matter. I mean, it should not affect. It should not impact. Well, other examples come with somewhere between the extremes are numerous everyday examples of workplace rudeness and inappropriate, including Disrespecting workers by comments, gestures, or proven behaviors like hostility based on characteristics such as their race, religion, gender, etc. This is considered workplace discrimination. Disrupting meetings when somebody is coming. We we live in a very judgmental society. I swear, I really dislike this thing. But we judge the people by their race, by their color, by their religion, by their gender, and I don't know why people do so. Sometimes it is so much hurting that why someone is not understanding this fact that the person who is having a capable, who are having the skills, they can be of any color, they can be of any race, religion, or any gender. Why there is a gender discrimination, why there is a religion discrimination, why there is a race discrimination, one should be very much happy, or one should be very much like this. They should, yeah, again, the term is acceptance. They should have this behavior of acceptance that yes, we can accept this person, we can be with this person, we can work that with this such type of a personalities. Well, coming with this particular things, that without thinking on these factors, without identifying these things, we used to act without thinking that how much it can be harmful for any other's career. It can be a big barrier in someone's confidence, in someone's career. So it is very much important that one should be very much careful while acting in any way. Even if you are not, again, if you're not liking someone, it is not important to, I mean, tell that person that we are not liking you. Leave them, ignore them. If you're not comfortable, tell your bosses to change your office, or change your career, or whatever, wherever you are. That can be changed. But if you're going to hurt the emotions of someone, it can be gone, they can bring it back. If you're going to break the confidence of someone, it will become very much difficult for that person to bring their confidence level back again at that level. So it is very much important that we should be very much careful while acting any act. Now, mostly I have seen that the juniors are not accepted, females are not accepted, sometimes males are not accepted. Sometimes people are like that, they disrupt the meetings. As I've said, that sometimes I used to be busy in my own work, and the student, without thinking that they are interrupting, they are mean they are interrupting in my presentations, or they are interrupting in my lectures. One will stand on the door, and I used to ask them, please Baba, let let me finish my lecture, and then I'm going to speak up. So one should avoid these things, though this comes in the workplace incivility. Again, other examples are giving this silent treatment. Sometimes people was they used to do the give a silent treatment. Silent treatment, in a sense, they won't respond. They become quiet. They won't respond you. This is also very much irritating. This is also come into the incivil behavior of any of the person, whosoever is, insulting others, making accusations about professional competencies. Sometimes I have seen this thing, and it has been notified in many of the researchers. Uh, it has been notified by different researchers, along with in HRM. Mostly, it has been seen that the people are being accused on their professional competencies. If I am being working in a best manner, I will be appreciated. But if by mistake any of the person makes any mistake, even I make any mistake, the people around us will start accusing, while saying these words, that you are not competent enough to do this work, don't have the skills. Always remember, skills can be polished. Mistakes makes a man perfect. If you're not going to make the mistakes, how you're going to learn? Why we don't have this acceptance that someone can make a mistake, and someone can, why it cannot be perfection? One cannot be perfect. No one can be perfect. Everybody has this error. If sometimes we used to say human error. The softwares, the technology is having the error. Artificial intelligence is having the error. We are the humans. How could we can be free from these errors? We can be free from these mistakes. So better, if someone at your workplace is facing such type of accusations, it is better to come up with those things. Don't accuse anyone. Don't say bad words to anyone that you are not good enough. You cannot. Your skills are not good enough. Tell them that it's okay. You have made mistake, but next time it should not be done in this way. Give them the trainings. Give trainings to the concerned personalities so that you can achieve your targets in a positive way. Not giving credit where credit is due. As I've said, this is the most important fact that has been researched at this moment, that the credibility. One should give the credibility to the concerned person who are working. If you're not going to give the credibility to the concerned person, obviously it will create a mismanagement. It will create a deviant behaviors. The people will not like to work, and it will obviously, on the contrast, will affect on your organization. Overruling decisions without giving a reason means once you have given one decision, and at the meantime you are going to start that no, you should there should be something else, and again you are overruling your decisions. Do this, then this, then this, then this. Oh my god, the bird will get like this, that what to do, what was the first decision, what we have to do firstly. So you should prepare these things, that it should not come with these factors, that don't overrule your decision. Be be accurate. What you want particularly, which target is more important. Sometimes we have 4 to 5 targets together, so we become very much puzzled what to do first. So we can make the teams, we can distribute our work, or we should manage our. If we want everyone to work on one target, then it is again important that you should realize it's a work of an employee, it's a work of a boss, of a team manager, that they should manage this thing. They should not blame their employee, their team, that they are not working properly. The boss, the manager, is the main person who leads. He is the leader who leads, that how the thing will be moved on. So it is very much important that you should manage this thing. Sending a nasty and demeaning note like hate mails, sometimes this has been seen at the lower level, in the middle management, that the people are doing these things, that then these things are being used as a targeting. This sometimes has been called as a targeting, that if I'm not liking someone, that I should send them hate mails. So it is again coming to an incivility which should be avoided. Talking about someone behind his or her back, that's simply backbiting, which should be avoided. Undermining credibility in front of others. If the work has been done by someone else and I'm taking the whole credit, it is also incivility. This also comes in the incivility. Other overt forms of incivility might include emotional tirades and losing one's stamina. Obviously, who is going to uh, bear all these things again and again and again? Obviously one will get tired. One will say, oh my god, why should uh, accept all his things. One person is doing bad things, they are using bad language, the other person has some limit. Again, they are also having some limits. They will bear your bad attitudes up till some level. At one level they are going to last, they are going to speak up, and this will create a violence act in your organization, and your organization will face number of issues. So it is very much important to avoid such deviant behaviors in your organization. This is the responsibility of the colleagues, the person who are working with us, because boss is always not always present. So it should not be a backbiting, but it should be properly informed in an appropriate manner. Sometimes people used to do the backbiting while saying these words that no, it's okay. We are just informing to the bosses. So always remember there are some rules, there are some ethics while speaking or informing to the your bosses. Corporate symptoms of long-term incivilities higher than normal employee turnover. If we are not going to manage these facts, if we are not going to manage all these things, what it will do, it will higher than normal employee turnover. Will leave your organization. You know, when a person will move ahead with the employee turnover, there are so many things. You have trained that person. That employee is knowing the secrets of your organization. That employee is working in your organization. The employee know everything about your organization. and you are like this, you just give them the work and they will do it, and you will be free from every task. But if that person is going to turn over from one organization to the second one, you are going to lose your asset. And that is the particular thing, the human asset, the employees. People don't ever think about this factor, that such behaviors, how they can in the long term, they can be so much harmful in our organization. A large number of employee grievances and complaints will obviously will ruin that environment, organizational environment, the organizational commitments, the organizational competencies. They are going to destroy all these facts. Lost work time by employees calling in sick. The people will make lame excuses while saying that we are sick, we don't want to come, until unless they are going to get some other job to do. So this is very much important. If something has been happening in your organization, it's time to wake up and it's time to look after what has been happening. Increased consumer complaints. Sometimes, if we used to hear from our bosses that someone is targeting us or somebody has scolded us, so what we will do, we will obviously say those words that are interrupting in our mind. They will be spoken up by us to someone else, specifically to the consumer. This way or that way, we are going to misbehave with such personalities. Diminish productivity in terms of quality and quantity of work. As I said, that it will destroy the organizational competency, the organizational commitment, the motivation of the employees. The employees will no more will be enthusiastic to work in your organization. So it is very much important if something has been happening in your organization. So it is very much important to identify these factors. Now, corporate symptoms of long-term disability, cultural and communication barriers. As I've said, the people are being judged because of their culture, because of their races, because of their gender. So it will obviously create a communication barriers. It will also create a cultural barriers. In the previous slides, I've discussed this communication barrier, and I told you we don't accept. We want to listen what we want to listen, but we will never go with this factor that if somebody is having some opinion which can be against us, we don't want to even hear that thing. So one should accept this thing, that if I am talking on some points, if I am talking on some things, they can be acceptable by everyone and they can be rejected by anyone. Lack of confidence in leadership. Some people, leaders, it has been said that leaders are born, but with the passage of time, research has said that no, leaders can be made, leaders can be trained. And the most important thing among any of the leader is a lack of confidence. If you are not confident even that you can handle the situation, then it is better not to be a leader. Inability to adapt effectively to change. As we know that in this competitive era, we cannot use the same strategies that has been taken up in 1980s and 1990s. No doubt, the top level managers are mostly those senior personalities who have been entered into the era of 1990s or 1980s. Now the strategies has been changed. Technologies has been changed. If we are unable to adapt these effective changes, it will obviously create a communication barrier. If we cannot communicate the importance of technology, for example, importance of the technology to the personalities who are not that much involved in technology, it will create a problem. It will create an inability. It will create an incivility. It will create a discrimination among the ideas. It will obviously create communication barriers. So, avoiding all these things, it is very much important that one should accept the changes what has been happening. Even the strategies of HRM, even the strategies of the strategic management that have been offered by the strategic management, or according to the situations. Even if we just don't move so much back after the COVID-19, so many things has been changed. So much technology has entered into our life. All the time we are involved with our technology. Even at this moment, from Pakistan, I'm talking to you all. This is a technology. I'm sharing my views to you with you all. I'm sharing my facts and figures so that they can be managed. The personality should know that what has been happening everywhere. It's not about only to the Asian countries or the Western countries. It's about everywhere, everywhere. Secondly, lack of individual accountability. If I'm not working, I won't feel that I'm accountable for my act. I will say it's a teamwork. If you are having five people, four are working, one is not working, the other person will say, why should I work? It's not my work. The four people are there, they are working, and it's okay. I'm a leader, I should not work. No. When you are in a team, you are responsible, you are accountable. This comes into the incivility that if you are not working, if you are not responsible for your ex, if you are not accountable, you are feeling that no, it's okay and I can manage the things, it will obviously create a problem. So better to avoid such type of things. Lack of respect. This is a humble request to everyone. Every human being has their own respect. Please respect them. Give them a high respect. And you will conquer not only their heart, but you will conquer the whole world. Respect is the main factor which is getting destroyed by our communities, by our society. Nobody is respecting others' perception, others' ideas, others' words, others' personality. As I've said, that we have become so much judgmental that we don't even want to listen the views of other person. We become like this that no, he don't like me, that's why he will say bad words for me. Listen up. Might be the person wants to share something good with you. Might be the person the vision or the perceptions or the ideas that person wants to give you can be very much helpful in your career, can be helpful in your profession, can be helpful for your upcoming any target. So one should respect by all means, by all means. Now, coming with this one, when we talk about a simple incivility, you find yourself walking into work with your supervisor and you hold the door open for her. She breezes through without saying thank you. This is incivility. This this comes in incivility. We should be thankful. We should be down to earth in this regard. I always used to say that one should be the bosses should be strict, but they should not be unethical. There are two different factors. One should be strict, but one should not be unethical. When you get to the break room to have your morning cup of coffee, you find that the pot is empty. The last person did not refill the coffee maker. This also comes now. These attitudes are like this that oh, it's okay. What's new? It doesn't. It should not be bothered up or it should not be identified. But no, those who are the youngsters, those who are new at this IGP, I would like to say to the young, especially the teenagers and the youngsters, that you should take care of these things. If someone senior is there who is standing and you are sitting, give them a seat. This is say this is what we considered as ethics. This is what we considered as a beautiful behaviors. This is what we used to say a respect. Later, your co-worker all leave for lunch together while you are in the washroom, without thinking that what's a big deal. He will okay, leave him. He will come back. These all things come into the incivility. To top off your day, you receive an email from a co-worker demanding that you finish a project in the next 2 hours, even though you are having 2 to 3 days, but you have been commanded to complete your work with in 24 hours or in 2 hours. This all comes in the incivility. If we even don't notice, we never notice these things. We used to say this is our duty, this is our responsibility to threat, to give commands, to give such commands which cannot sometimes become so much difficult for the employees. Someone is not feeling well, someone is having some technological errors or something, anything. Why one we should bother someone that that person is not working properly, or that person is having some issues. The person is working, and sometimes I used to calculate. We used to calculate. The research has given this opportunity that it's a human psychology that the person, if you will say to a person that you have to complete this task in 24 hours, he or she might will prepare in his mind that I'm having this 24 hours and I'm going to complete this target in this such and such and things. And I'm having this much amount to take rest. I am having this much time to take a cup of coffee or anything, for snacks or anything. So we are having our own plans, and in such plans, if you are going to give these commands to complete the work in 4 hours or 6 hours into 2 hours, it will obviously create some disturbance, which will come under the act of incivility. Why should we care? Why it is important to notice this incivility? Workplace incivility may be low in intensity, but it is quite high in frequency. As I said, we usually used to do these acts, leaving a friend behind, leaving a colleague behind, not saying thank you to someone. This is fine in a low intensity, but the frequency of turnover, the frequency of hurting someone is on its peak. Over the past 10 years, research investigating workplace incivility has estimated that prevalence rates may be between 75% to 100%, meaning that nearly all employees have experienced some level of incivility from their co-workers, supervisors, or customers' clients. Now, one thing which I would like to prefer over here, that if we are not giving respect to the employees, sometimes the customers used to behave in such a way that it is so much hurting. So whosoever you are, I am again and again saying, whosoever you are a candidate, you are a teacher, you are an employee, you are a university student, you are a school student, you are a college student, whosoever you are, respect is the most important thing. I have seen sometimes the clients become so much harsh to the salesman, that if he gets late in doing in the billing process or bringing some of the stuff, they become very harsh. So this should be avoided. This should be avoided. This is the normal things which we usually used to see in our society, and we don't speak up. It's better to inform the personalities around you that what is right and what is wrong, and what is ethical, what is unethical, what is civilized and what is uncivilized. The expected is exceptionally high frequency of occurrence for incivility is cause for concern, because research has consistently demonstrated that the effect of incivility can compound over time. It can create deviant behaviors. The honest person will leave you, or the honest person will start doing fraudulence. He or she will become dishonest. Dishonest doesn't mean that they are going to uh, do some fraudulence in shape of financial issues, but fraudulence in such a way they won't come to the workplace. They will avoid coming to the workplace. They will start up giving the lame excuses that they don't want to work. So this may occur. So it is very much important that one should be very much knowing about these facts, that how to handle such type of situations. As a result, incivility has been shown to lead to a host of deleterious effects on employee and organizational well-being. Uh, in the previous, in some IGP lectures, I have talked about the workplace happiness. Once I have talked about that people feel more motivated when they are happy at their work, and when they are happy at their work, when they will feel respectful, they will feel motivated. If they are going to face, they will be facing any step of incivility, obviously this will lead to some unethical acts, will be harmful for the well-being of the organization. In terms of personal outcomes, co-workers incivility has been linked to high level of employee burnout, feeling of strain, and decreased psychological well-being. Sometimes it has been seen in our organizations that if the boss is very strict, The employees used to say, "Oh my God, tomorrow we have to go to the office." No, I don't want to go to the office. Why I don't want to go to the office? Because I have to. Again, he will shout. Again, he or she will be using such a harsh words. They are going to. They are not going to speak as in a humble way. They will use disrespect words or some such type of a comments that will we are going to lose our confidence. So we don't want to go to the office. Such type of things should be avoided. Such type of things should be means managed. This is on the personal outcomes. This is personal facts which employees will suffer. And on the organizational level, in terms of organizational outcomes, incivility has been related to employee withdrawals, turnover, decreased satisfaction, and decreased performance. As I said, you if a person is not uh, satisfied, is not comfortable at the workplace, how he or she will perform, how he or she is going to complete his or her targets. It is very much important to provide such an environment to which we used to say that an organization environment should be very much friendly. It should be in such a way that everybody should have this freedom of speech to speak up their facts. They should not be judgmental. They should be judgment according to their work. If they are having some issues, the employers, the higher authorities should identify that why our workers not giving us that outcome which is needed by the organization. Why the targets are not complete? What are the problems behind all these facts? This is the most important thing, which we should realize. Incivility has been shown to lead to a host with deleterious effects. Sometimes, even in meetings, if someone is not comfortable with their bosses, they become so nervous. Even if they know the answers of so many things, they have made the presentation in such a great way, they become so much nervous that they cannot even speak up. So it is very much important to avoid such type of an acts. What can we do? Now, we have identified the problem. We found that what can be the consequences of this problem of incivility. Now, what can we do? It is clear that incivility in its many forms can be incredibly harmful to both individual employees and to their employing organizations. What then should be done to reduce incivility? Research investigating civility interventions is relatively new, but there are some recommendations that might be effective in building a respectful work environment. As I've said in before, that mostly we particularly we used to act in such incivil way, and we don't mean unintentionally we used to look someone, we used to give some harsh looks to someone, we are in some other mind and we won't say we while someone has opened the door and we didn't say thank you. So all these things come into the incivility group, and sometimes the people are doing it as their own without having any intentions, and sometimes the people are doing it with the intentions. So whatever the effects are, they are doing it intentionally or unintentionally. Now these things are being identified by different researchers because they are this way or that's way affecting the performances of any of the organization, particularly the profitability of any organization. Perhaps one of the most important factors in maintaining a civil work environment is to have a strong example set by the manager. That is, managers should model civil behavior, helping create a culture of civility and respect. As I've said before, that it is the leader, it is the team manager who is responsible for all those things. It is very much important for those personalities that they should have this fact, they should have this civility impact, they should have this behavior among them. They should know that yes, we are responsible for our acts. If the leader will be so much ethical, obviously, obviously this is 100% a surety that they can build a brilliant team and they can achieve any of the target. When your team manager, when your leader is a civil model, means he is having a moral civil behavior, obviously this will impact a great impact on your whole organization. If managers frequently violate social norms for courtesy and respect, employees might take this as a cue that doing so is acceptable and being to be uncivil to each other. I have seen this thing, and even the researchers, you will find so many things in the human resource management researches that if the leader is strict, as I've said always, if he is strict but very ethical, he's very means down to earth and very caring about his employees. If somebody is not feeling well, he will say that okay, it's okay, you should take leave. He will give his target to someone else. So this will be considered as a ethical norm. It has been called as a very beautiful act of your bosses. But if the managers will be becoming frequently violating all these rules, norms, conditions, ethics, so what the team will do, they will say that it's okay. If our boss is doing so, we can also do. As I've said, we are having three level of management: top level management, middle, and lower. If top will do something bad, act with the middle one, the middle will do it with the lower one, and in this way, the whole organization will suffer. Managers should realize that they are always on and should be especially careful when interacting with employees, whether these interactions are in person or via email. Whatever, verbal or non-verbal, they should have this concept of ethics among them. By setting the tone for the organization, managers can help create a culture of civility and respect at all levels of the organization. Whatever the level of organization you are, it doesn't matter. If you are not respecting the lower level managers, how they the main basement, the lower level managers. Mostly the people used to say, oh, they belong to the lower level managers. Why should we respect them? They are lower. Now this concept of superiority and inferiority, they should be aware. If you are having this concept of superiority and inferiority, it will obviously create the issues of incivility. So better to avoid such type of things at whatever the level you are having in your organization, top, middle, or lower. You should have respect for everyone. Aside from managers, modeling behavior, organization can also make sure that norms for courtesy and respect are evident to employees from the recruitment stage. Recruiters should have the people skills necessary to embody the civility norms of the organization and set the stage for the expectations. If you are going to if you are going to chase someone, or you are going to choose someone who is unethical, who is very talented, but he don't know how to speak up. In the interviews, one of the psychologists, we used to have one member who is psychologist, and why that we used to have this psychological person among us in the interviewing team. We used to make that person to identify how the person is behaving, or the person is acting. Sometimes we used to behave unintentionally with what is our normal behaviors, and sometimes people used to act for a while that we are very ethical, we respect everyone, but after meanwhile they will come into their own color, whatever their color was, if they are unethical or if they are not that much respectful. So at the time of the recruitment, it is very much important for the organizations, especially the team members who are interviewing. They should recruit such persons who are very responsible, who are having the civil norms. We can easily identify such personalities with their words, with their perceptions, with their ideas. It is very much easy to identify such persons. If you are going to recruit any of the such persons who are badly talented, oh my god, awesome personality, but they are having some uncivil norms among them. Remember, you are adding someone which can be very much helpful for your organization. So from the very recruitment, from the very first point, you should be very much uh, conscious about this. During the selection phase, employers can thoroughly check references for indications of consistent past rude behaviors, as well as select on personality traits that might be related to civil, respectful behavior. As I have discussed this, that employers at the selection phase, one should be maintain this indication that one who is acting and who is behaving. The actor will obviously make some mistake, which can be easily identified. Now, coming with this one, upon employees entering an organization, onboarding programs can make civility expectations clear and issues related to interpersonal behaviors can be discussed. Emphasizing that employees should never be too busy to be nice should be a priority, and this should be reiterated throughout the course of an employee's career. At the time of the training, as I said, you one can be leaders can be trained. So this training should be given to the employees as well by giving them this opportunity that they should give. They should be clearly given this concept, this understanding that they should behave in a very nice way. They should behave in such a way that none of the person, even the sweeper of the organization should not feel disrespect. Even the personalities who is at the very lower level, they should not feel any disrespect. This is the most important thing, and such things should be clear from the very first day. Now, how to control incivility at workplace? Because this will the personalities you are having at the firstly I was discussing from the recruitment. But if you have recruited any such type of a person who is a member of your organization and you are facing this such type of things, how you can control that? Have you considered the potential cost of workplace incivility at your business? Identify this thing. Workplace incivility has been defined as low intensity behavior that may be demonstrated through actions such as being mildly but consistently rude, discourteous, or impolite, or violating workplace norms of behaviors. Now, what it will be cost? High employee turnover, poor company productivity. Stress at the workplace due to incivility can even spill over to an employee's personal life. Obviously, I've said you there is every person, every working personality has having two life. One is a professional and one is personal. And sometimes the professional life impacts on personal, and sometimes personal life impacts on the professional. That's why in one of the lecture, I think work-life balance. I have discussed this thing that we should have a work-life balances. We should not interrupt these things, but it happens. It's in human nature. We become so much bothered from 9 to 5 that when we come back to home, we sometimes shout at our family. So we should create such organizational environment that should be very much polite. It should be friendly. It should not cost on such type of things. It should not cost on the health of the employees. It should not go with the lower customer retention that the people don't want to come to your organization, to your shop, or wherever you are. Lawsuits and settlements. Obviously, if you are going to have a demeaning behavior, if you are going to have the violent act at your organization, it will create some lawsuits, it will create some law issues in your professional life. A steady decline in company values and culture. If your organizational culture, if your organizational environment is not good, it will obviously impact the decline, and it will obviously ruin your whole whatever efforts you have taken in the development of this organization. So this is very much important to manage these things. Instability can be tough for a manager to spot because it tends to be more subtle than workplace bullying, yelling, or physical violence. Incivility may present itself as eye rolling, interrupting or talking over someone in a meeting, making dismissive comments, or speaking disrespectfully while not saying anything that could cause legal actions. Now, such type of a behaviors, such type of a things will impact on the organization, and it will impact negatively on the organizations. Means sometimes we have seen that eye rolling, interrupting a meeting, disrespecting, means all these things need to be controlled, need to be identified. Now, the study shows that an employee who feels disrespected becomes stressed and is more likely to avoid offering new ideas and solutions, deliberately decrease their productivity, lower the quality of their work, avoid offering help. Obviously, if someone is not interesting, if he or she won't feel good, this will obviously create that they will lower their quality of the work. Stay clear of the offender, creating inefficiencies. Take their frustrations out on customers, specifically in the banking sector. The researchers have identified these things that sometimes people don't speak in a proper way. Spend less time at work, leave the company, turnover in issues. Perhaps worst of all, when incivility spills into customer view, it reflects poorly on your company and makes customers uncomfortable and more likely to take their business elsewhere. So it is better when the things have been happening in your organization or in your shop or in your bank or wherever the place you are, in your schools, universities, it is better to identify at a very lower level so that it can be managed. Creativity suffers. Obviously, as I said, when you are not, when your employees don't want to share the quality of work with you, it will suffers the creativity. Less creative and have fewer new ideas if treated rudely. Performance and team spirits deteriorate. Negative consequences. Less likely than others to help. Nobody wants to work with the person who is rude. Customers turn away. Criticizing colleagues' disrespectful behavior makes customers uncomfortable sometimes. If you are in some place of a market and you are selling something and you are scolding your partner that, oh, what you have done, you are giving the wrong things, let me handle it. Such type of things will obviously do the customers turn away. Regardless of the circumstances, people don't like to see other treated badly. This is very normal. Nobody wants to be. The people used to think if he is talking to his colleague in such a way, they can also talk with us. So they leave the place. Managing incidents is expensive. One incident can soak up weeks of attention and effort, waste of manpower. It's very normal. We used to speak at the back that, oh, this had happened. This person has misbehaved with that person. And we will make the rumors, we will make the stories. And these stories will be move on for the weeks and months unless we will get some new story. This is human, uh, what should I say, that it's a human nature that we used to do these things. This is very normal. The steps to encourage civility in the workplace. If you have noticed a general malaise among your workers or tensions that seems to be brewing just beneath the surface, considering whether incivility among your staff could be the culprit. Hoping the problem will go away isn't the solution. Without intervention, productivity is sure to suffer, turnover will also likely increase, it will increase. Instead, you must proactively address your workplace culture and take steps to minimize the instances of rudeness and reinforce respectful, acceptable behavior. Means give them this notifications that no, if you are not going to respect, you will be you will, the consequences will be harsh. Leaders set the tone. Be aware of your actions. Model good behaviors. Role model. Leader is rude, then obviously the whole team will be destroyed. Create a culture of respect and express your appreciations. Ask for feedback. Take the democratic leadership style. Managing yourself. Pay attention to your progress. Self awareness and set good examples and alert people when rude. If someone is getting rude, tap them. Relax. You should not be rude. One should be relaxed in such a way that the other person should behave in such a good way that other person should realize, oh, I'm sorry, I was rude. One should say this word. So be a role model. Be a person who should act in a very, very great way. It will obviously create the best things. Otherwise, the issues will be worse one. Take civility globally, that is behavior and to act respectfully across cultures. We are having a global approach. Before you go, know who you are, know where you are going. Be open minded. Don't be like this. Don't be judgmental. Don't be judgmental with the races. Don't be judgmental with their color, with their culture, whatever they are having. Be very, very positive. When you will feel positive, the people will think positive for you. So it is important that you should be positive. Show respect. Once you are at the place wherever you are going globally, show respect. Be agreeable. Show patience with other and yourself because you cannot change everyone. but you can change yourself. Pay sharp attention. Break out of your comfortable zone. Be adaptable. Accept and learn from mistakes. As previously I have discussed that we are humans and we are there to make the mistakes. If we are not going to make the mistakes, we are not going to learn. So it is important that we should learn from our mistakes. A culture of civility. Have a cooperative approach. Be aware of underlying needs. If someone is not feeling well, if someone is financially not strong, they are having some issues, speak them. It is important to speak up. Recognize individual differences. Be open to adapting to positions. If someone is at some position, be acceptable. Okay, fine. He's my boss or she's my boss. It's okay. Start from leaders. If you want to have a civility in your culture, in your organization, clearly define expectation for how employees treat each other. Reward civilized behavior. If someone is having a great ethical behaviors or civilized behavior, reward them with the bonuses. Reward them with the awards. Reward them with the good words. Appreciate them. Give them the intrinsic motivation. They will feel good. Encourage them. Encourage the management, whosoever is managing. This will obviously create a great things. Now, concluding my today's lecture, in order to minimize the workplace incivility, it requires the efforts from both leaders as well as employees. Organizations need to promote the culture for civility. Civility can be enhanced by building competencies in skills such as listening, conflict resolution, negotiations, dealing with difficult people, and stress management. It's not easy to manage an organization in an ethical way, in a civil means with the high approach of workplace civility. So it is very much important that one should know that whatever the people we are having. Why? Today's lecture, while thinking that it is wise thing to be polite, consequently, it is a stupid thing to be rude. To make enemies by unnecessary and willful incivility is just as insane a proceeding as to set your house on fire. For politeness is like a counter, an avowedly false one, with which it is foolish to be stinging. Well, today was my lecture. Thank you from my side. Over to you. Well, like any participants who wants to ask anything, they can write in their messages. I think host is there. Host is there.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for a rich content presentation which can impact our knowledge visually. After
Thank you
your
so much.
presentation, I hope our knowledge speaker can learn something new which was our only intention. Learn and grow together. I thank you so much ma'am, for the presentation. Now, ma'am, it's time for our question answer session, which is the one more valuable part of our regular webinar. Honorable ma'am, please stay with us. After a short video, we will back in our session part 2, which is the question answer part. Dear IGP knowledge seeker, please ask your question in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. Thank you. After question answer, we have a webinar certification and online quiz competition. Dear IGP knowledge seeker, please in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. Thank you. After question answer, we have a webinar certification and online quiz competition. welcome back to our participant. Dear IGP knowledge seeker, please ask your question in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. Thank you. After question answer, we have a webinar certification and online quiz competition. Dear IGP knowledge seeker, please ask your question in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. Thank you. After question answer, we have a webinar certification and online quiz competition. Ma'am, our first question is from Liutrim. Please explain the reason why it is important for employers to address incivility at work and process best practice for addressing incivility.
Okay, why is it is important for employees to address incivility at work and propose best practices? Well, it is very much important to identify the factors relationship to incivility because at this moment we are emotionally so much in the depression. We are emotionally not that much strong. So if someone will hurt us, it obviously impact on our working productivity, means quality of work which we are giving. If we are not going to identify these incivility issues, it will obviously impact on the factors that the production or the targets that need to be accomplished in a due time will face some issues. Secondly, okay, the practices which you can get, I have given hundred of the examples along with their means solutions. But one which I would like to tell you is this: that best practice for addressing incivility is identifying politely in a polite manner. Sometimes we act unethically, but if we are acting means intentionally, means we are acting unethically with the intention to harm someone, we should identify that fact. If we are not in that capacity to identify those personalities, then we should inform our higher authorities or the bosses or the managers, but in a very polite way. It should not be harmful for anyone. But one thing which is very much important, that while addressing the incivility, it is very much important that it should be incivility. It should not be like this, that someone is doing any mistake or some act has been done mistakenly, and you are identifying that no, he has done this intentionally. It should be identified that act that is intentional or unintentional, and then how to address it, how to identify that incivility act. It is very much important that it should be done in a very polite way, in a very ethical way. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your answer. Ma'am, again a question from your team. What is the first thing that would indicate a turnaround in your work culture?
The most important thing is when someone feels incivility, they will avoid working, they will avoid giving you their best product, they will avoid to be loyal to your brand, to your organization. Always remember, if someone is not comfortable at the workplace, the first deterrent that will happen in your work culture is the disloyalty, the factor of disloyalty. A person will not remain loyal to you. Obviously, they will not work according to the fulfillment of the targets or the goals that your organization wants to work.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your answer. My again question from you team. What limitation need to be taken into account to create a respectful work culture?
I have discussed this thing in my lecture that one should be provided a trainings. One should be with the passage of time, with the time to time, one should train. And one thing that the employees should do is the job rotation. Job rotation can bring new people to come work with some other people, and this will create a great thing. So the limitations need to be taken account, that one person used to work with, for example, employee A is working with employee B from the last 5 years. Obviously, it will create some misinterpretations or miscommunication or communication barriers. So if you are having a job rotation, it will provide different perception, different opinions, and again, your work culture need to be maintained accordingly. Thank you. Well, I would
Thank
like
you
to
so much,
just add
ma'am,
one
for
thing,
your answer.
that in your article of association, you should identify no unethical activity. Okay, what is the
Okay, ma'am.
most important
Ma'am,
thing to remember if employees slip back into? What is the most important thing to remember? Okay, if they are being slipped back to uncivil behavior, it should be identified that either it is intentional or unintentional. This is the most important thing. First of all, identify this thing that it has been happened, when this act has been happened, this behavior has been happened intentionally or unintentionally. If it is unintentionally, then they need to be identified, they need to be managed. But if it is means they are doing it deliberately, they are doing it while knowing, I mean they are having with the intention to harm someone, then they should need to be means given the notifications, or they will be highlighted, they should be given a proper trainings, or sometimes giving them little minor punishments in such way that they should be giving some notifications that they should avoid such uncivil behaviors. Again, the things come with intention or unintention facts. Thank you.
thank you so much, ma'am, for your answer, ma'am. There is no more questions from our participants. So once again, thank you so much, ma'am, for your time in IGP. We have
Thank
learned a
you.
lot from you with new topic. It will add some value to our day-to-day activity along with our academic and professional growth. Honorable ma'am, hope to see you again with a new topic and a new date. Thank you, ma'am. Take care.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Honorable ma'am, before we move to the next, want to leave this studio, you can.
Thank you so much. It was a nice time, and I'm really thankful to ITP once again to giving me an opportunity to share my views. Thank you so much. Thank you, dear. Thank you, host.
Their IGP knowledge case stand for the webinar certification process, the most attractive and powerful part of our regular webinar. After a short video, we will start our webinar certification. After webinar certification, we have an online quiz competition and quiz certification. Their IGP knowledge case stand for the webinar certification process, the most attractive and powerful part of our regular webinar. After a short video, we will start our webinar certification. After webinar certification, we have an online quiz competition and quiz certification. IGP.com. Please make sure your presence on our website. Find a running session and get enrolled. After watching completing part 1, move to the next with the learning test passing mark 80%. If passed, back to the course again to download your certificate. If failed to retake the quiz, download your certificate in PDF or JPG. For your attention, I am going to share the again. Visit www.eduigp.com. Please make sure your presence on our website. Find a running session and get enrolled. After watching complete part 1, move to the next with the learning test passing mark 80%. If passed, back to the course again to download your certificate. If failed to retake the quiz, download your certificate in PDF or JPG. Dear IGP Knowledge Seeker, it's time for the most engaging part of this webinar, which is an online quiz competition, which is a regular webinar activity. We have changed a few process on our online quiz competition. Note that after live, no one can participate. Now, time for the online quiz competition. To join the online quiz competition properly, please follow my instruction carefully. Now, time for the online quiz competition. To join the online quiz competition properly, please follow my instruction carefully. Visit www.eduigp.com. Sign up or sign in. Without this, you cannot join live quiz competition anymore. Browse the live quiz button or given link, find the session name and join with your log website or user account. Click join and wait for a few minutes for others to join. Join on official Facebook page and do message your login details to others. Our first short video will illustrate our position. Join and join official Facebook page and do message of global professional. After a short video, we will illustrate our quiz session. Understand our position right now. Select all those which are outcome of workplace incivility. Option 1, nurse frustration. Option 1, chemical confidence. Option 1 is the right answer. 81% people are right here. Our next question is, select all those which are outcome of workplace ECPT. Option 1, job history. Option 2, patient advocacy. Option 1 is the right answer. 100% people are right here. Our third question is workplace bullying incivility is option 1 repeated and prolonged. Option 2 a lifetime use of power. Option 1 is the right answer. 67% people are right here. Our next question is workplace incivility can lead to which of the following? Is it option 1 or option 2? Option 1 is the right answer. 95% people are right here. Our next question is workplace incivility is an of CWB. Is it true or false? Option 1 is the right answer. 86% people are right here. Our next question is workplace incivility can be defined as defined workplace behavior with ambitious intent to harm the target. Is it true or false? Option 1 is the right answer. 100% people are right here. Our next question is Thailand Act would be considered workplace incivility. Is it true or false? Option 2 is the right answer. No one is correct here. Our next question is antisocial behavior or workplace incivility refers to option 1 or option 2. So option 2 is the right answer. 90% people are right here. Our second last question of the session is workplace incivility can have the following results. Option 1 or option 2. So option 1 is the right answer. 100% people are right here. Our last and final question of the session is what are two areas affected by workplace incivility? Option 1 personal safety and comfort. Option 2 work engagement and optional commitment. Option 2 is the right answer. 75% people are right here. Congratulations to our online quiz competition winner. Right. Congratulations to our online quiz competition winner top 10. Congratulations again. We will take a few minutes for finalizing the result. After that, we will issue the certificate of top 10, which you can find out on our official Facebook page and group Institute of Global Professional. Congratulations to our online quiz competition winner top 10. Congratulations again. We will Take few minutes for finalize the result. After that, we will issue our online quiz content certificate on official Facebook page and group instead of global professional. Congratulations to our online quiz competition in Captain. Congratulations again. We will take your certificate on official Facebook page and group instead of global professional. At the end of our session, we can say properly feed your skill. Never stop learning, cause life never stop teaching us. Be happiest to save. See you again and again. We want your participation in every program. If you want to live a happy life, try to a goal, not people or things are but understand. Before I say or hit the unlike button, I can also thank all IGP knowledge seekers for your active participation as well as. See you again in the next session. Thank you.